Okay, so my Unit 4 Spider Scribe theme is summer, and it's for 2nd grade. um, so we're going to first start with the technology, which is summer around the world. And what the students will do is they will be given a country, and they will have to do research and see if their assigned country, if it's summer the same time that we have summer. So then once they will do research, they will first be put into groups. And they'll then do research with the help of teachers and find out what the season is. They will then use that information and write one paragraph about the seasons. Their mastery will be a Flipgrid video explaining their paragraph and their country. The cross-curricular is ELA and writing. The fine art will be theater because they're presenting. These are the standards that they will be meeting. So we go into science, and science is planting summer. Those students are going to be able to, or they'll take like a milk carton or a water bottle or whatever, they'll plant a flower. They will decorate their cup, and then they will do daily observations on their plant and what it's doing. They will draw a picture and write a sentence. Their mastery will be what is in their journal for their journal entries, how well their picture is, how detailed their writing is. Here's their standards. The cross-curricular is math because of the measuring. They're going to measure and make observations of how tall their plant is growing. And the fine art element is visual arts because they are decorating and designing their flower pot out of a water bottle. Social studies is saving summer, so the students are going to work in groups, and they're going to be given a location around town. So for example, we live in Arlington, and so they're either going to be given like the courtyard at the school, the courtyard at the school. They'll be given like the city park. There's flower pots and stuff in front of the bank. There's a couple different things at the city park. They'll each be given a little area that they will have to come up with a plan and draw pictures and stuff of how they want it to look. So, for example, at the school, do they want to add more wood chips, or the grass along the sidewalks, or the grass in front of the building when during winter how it got plowed and the grass got dug up, or whatever. They'll then make a Adobe Spark video with pictures. Like I will help them take a picture of their drawings and their location, and we'll make an Adobe Spark video, and they will explain what they want it to do. The students will be using media arts to do this. That will be their art element, and then obviously cross-curricular application is technology. Here are the social studies standards that were used. Moving on to art. So while they're out at their locations thinking of what they want to do, they're also going to collect stuff like wood chips, grass, flowers, leaves, pine cones, whatever. And they are going to bring those back in, and they're going to create a collage that reminds them of summer. They also will be able to use magazines and other old paper materials that have been collected over the years. Students will then show mastery based on the materials that they used on their collage. If it's, this is a summer collage, so if there's a picture of ice fishing or anything that's not related to summer, they're going to lose points because this is supposed to be stuff that reminds them of summer. Here are the standards. The fine art element is visual arts. Cross-curricular is to science because they are using their earth science stuff and using live plant life. Now we're going to move on to math. Is measuring flowers, which is related to science. So the students will plant flowers, and they'll measure and record how tall their plants grow. The students will use math journals to record how much their plant grows each week. They will use a ruler and measure the height of the plant. They will also need to draw a detailed picture of their progress. Students will show mastery by the recordings in their math notebook. If the measurements look right, then they have learned how to properly use a ruler along with documenting measurements, which they'll need to get used to doing. Here are the standards here. The fine art element is visual arts. Cross-curricular is science, obviously. Not going to have to explain that again. Language arts, I'm going to read a book about how plants grow. The students will then write an informational paragraph on how to properly take care of plants. I'll read a book on how to take care of plants and what helps them grow. Then we'll watch a video about taking care of plants. And then they'll need to take what they learned and they will write a paragraph. Students will show mastery based on how well their paragraph is written and the information that is in their paragraph. They'll need to include punctuation along with transition words such as first, then, next, finally, last. Their paragraph should be an explanation of the steps on how to take care of a plant. The fine art element is the students will present their paragraph, so I would say they would be related to drama. And then I'll fill this in a moment. I thought I had that filled in. But their cross-curricular is science because they are learning about plants and how to take care of plants. So now we're going to move to drama. These two kind of go hand in hand. This one is called Dancing Flowers, and what they're going to do is they're going to create a play that is about plants. Each character will be a different plant, and they will need to explain how they grow. So for an example, one student will be like a daisy, one will be like a succulent, one will be something that's found in the garden. Just different plants because all plants need sunlight and water, but they need it at different amounts. So like a succulent doesn't really need that much, but a tree needs a lot of water type thing. So they will be given a plant, they will have to research it, they will then become that plant, and it'll be in first person, and they will be like, I am a succulent. I usually live in the desert. I don't need that much water, but I need a lot of sunlight. The cross-curricular is science because they are still learning more about plants and how they are taken care of. The fine art element will be visual arts and theater for their project. They will use visual arts by creating props or costumes and other things they want for their play, and then obviously theater when they act out or present. And finally, summer songs is our music. I'll play some music just to get their attention, get them engaged, get them thinking. They'll then need to be in partners, and they will need to create a song, any type of song. Excuse me, any type of song that will be about summer and related to summer. It has to be all about what makes them think of summer. They will use GarageBand or any other app that they find that is a music creating app. The students will show mastery based how well they can use the GarageBand app. They will also need to show mastery on how well they can describe summer. If the students talk about football or ice fishing, then they're off topic. Students will also be required to use their own voice to the recordings and a minimum of 3 different instruments or loops. Here are their standards. The cross-curricular is obviously technology because they are using the GarageBand app. And the fine art element is music. So that is my Unit 4 Summer Spider Scribe map.